called to order. Charlotte Center Conference Room, roll call please.
Mrs. Seoli? Here. Mrs. Foley?
Here.
Mrs. Grega?
Here.
Mr. Leidig?
Here.
Mrs. Tresky?
Here, please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Committee reports. We had Government Affairs Committee this morning, just got a couple updates of the things that are going on. So far, we had Vistra there, which was nice to hear from them, and they gave us a little bit of information about the more developing power and the need for power and the higher cost of power and the drain that data centers and AI is starting to cause on the systems. So it's kind of interesting to see where they're going moving forward and what their plan is moving forward with that. Also, the road construction projects happening in the village, we got an update about that. There's going to be construction on Manchester Road, Center Road, and Green all at the same time. So we will be kept in the loop by the engineer as with what is happening so that we can make adjustments as needed. Emergency services will also be kept in the loop on that going forward. And then, what else was there?
They just gave updates from all the different pieces of things that happened, just social stuff. That
There's really nothing else big that was going on other than those few items.
Is it closures or just some work?
Some of both. So there will
Some
be,
detour work,
yeah.
some traffic will still be able to get through.
Okay, so our buses will be able to get
Yeah,
through.
Randy Usher was included on the email, so he's already looking at.
we're looking at probably springish. They have to do some gas lines, water lines, sewers, all those kind of things. And it should coincide really beautifully with Route 20 being started over here too. So we've got a lot of good things to look forward to. So might as well get it done all at once, right? But it is good that we'll be informed so we can adjust. And Mr. Usher is very good at handling those things. Anyone else have any committee reports?
Just that one.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Wait, I skipped it, I'm sorry. Administrative update.
All right, thank you. Some great news in addition to Vistra being at our meeting today. A couple weeks ago, we learned that Vistra has dropped their challenge of their property value, which helps us. Jen had provided an update at our last meeting, how that was going to negatively impact us until a conclusion was made. But now we're in a lot better situation as a result of them dropping that challenge. Some highlights of what's taken place over the past month here. We had our second annual welding open house. Students were able to showcase and help their family members with some hands-on experiences within welding. Always a great experience to see kids interacting with their parents and different people that come out and support the kids in their journey. Special thanks to Rita Soder and Bill Miller for making this another successful open house. We also are excited to announce that Perry Local Schools was selected as one of 20 organizations in Ohio to take part in the Serve Ohio America 250 Service Learning Institute and was awarded $5,000 to expand opportunities for our students. This funding will help PSL and our PEEP Service Learning through decision bring even more hands-on service projects to life, and they look forward to working together to expand those opportunities for our kids. Next, our sixth graders were involved with the Share Their Genius Day, or Share Your Genius Day. A lot of our high school students work with our sixth graders. In addition, Baldwin Wallace was involved, University Hospitals, Lake Erie College, Byers Product, Perry Fire Department, and two different salons that Perry graduates now own. So a special day for our sixth graders of getting out there and exploring some potential future careers and just raising that awareness with our students. Next up, our eighth graders did return safely from the DC trip, and they wasted no time on top of traveling to different monuments and iconic buildings, such as the White House, walking more than 10 miles a day. Our students were able to visit Ford's Theater, the Smithsonian National Museum, Natural History, and the People's Museum. They saw the Korea, Vietnam, Iwo Jima, Martin Luther King, World War II, and Lincoln Memorials. And some of our students also participated in laying of the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington Cemetery. So special thanks to Dr. Bassage, Kara Plavis, and those that made that trip possible. Always a lot of planning to make that come together. Next up, Show Choir Festival will take place this Saturday at 7 p.m. in the Goodwood Theater. This year's show features choirs from Madison, Mentor, Geneva, Grand Valley, and of course, our own Buccaneers and Buck Band. Tickets are available online or at the door. As far as some sports accomplishments, as always, sports teams succeeding at a high level. Our boys golf team qualified for OHSAA districts for only the second time in school history. The other time was 2007. Jill Peters from our girls golf team qualified individually for districts in golf. Girls tennis went 8-1 in the opening round of OHSAA sectionals, advancing 2 singles and 2 doubles teams to the quarterfinals. This past Saturday, girls cross country team advanced to the regionals, which will be held in Boardman, and the boys cross country team advanced 3 individuals onto regionals: Landon Rusnick, Hunter Clyde, and Matthew Viss. The girls soccer team continues their season by advancing to a district semi tomorrow. If they win that game, they'll play in the district final on Saturday. The volleyball team is competing tonight, and we are hosting the district semifinal matches, and we'll take on BASG at 7 p.m. tonight. If the girls win, they will head to the district final this Wednesday. The football team is 7-2 on the season, play at Hawken this Friday for a CFC championship. If our football team is victorious, we will not only be conference champs, we also get a bye for the opening round for the playoffs, which is new this year, the bye round. And our Perry cheerleading program is proud to host the CBC Cheer Showcase this coming Sunday at October 26th at noon sharp. So a lot going on. Also, we did learn today, as far as Halloween is concerned, if our football team wins this Friday, we will have a bye. So the different cities and townships and villages plan on keeping Halloween on Halloween. If we were to lose, there's a good chance that it could be bumped to that Saturday. So get your candy ready. That concludes my administrative update. And we'll move on to B here. We've asked Mr. Smith to join us today to give an overview of our district's capital plan. Special thanks to him. I know since taking over, he's always a valuable asset and keeps a close eye on everything going on in our district. And this is a massive campus for the number of students that we have on campus, and grateful to have Mr. Smith with us.
Thank you, Mr. Purcell. Good evening, everyone. I'll begin with in the board packet, the overall facility update. And we'll start with safety, and really safety remains our number 1 priority. Everything we do in maintenance operations is for the safety of the students, staff, and community members. I'd like to thank our safety committee members who serve in the safety committee, our past and present board members who are currently on that committee, our administrative staff, our staff, and a special thanks to the wonderful collaboration with our local safety forces from police to fire. To that regard, some items are brought forth for the capital plan through the committee, but most are not. One of the items was the bidirectional antenna system, which was completed in the spring of 2025, and we were briefed on that. Our PA system was just updated this summer, and all the elevators were fully modernized campus-wide. Item 2, their electrical mechanical items are sustained through a variety of techniques. These mechanical systems continue to be our highest driver of maintenance services throughout the district. As I move into energy conservation, as we continue to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars, we continue to look for efficiencies. And I'll name a few under my tenure. In 2007, we did energy conservation measures that addressed everything from the building envelope to water conservation. Then again, in 2017, we did LED, and in 2018 and in 2019, we did LED upgrades. Those upgrades were initial savings of $1.2 million to the district, and subsequently a projected energy cost of $116,000 annually. In your packet, there's 2 or 3 pages that kind of delineate everything else. So if you have any questions as we're going along, I welcome you to stop me and ask me if you'd like to provide feedback or any questions during the presentation. The building automation system I reported in the last report was we were looking at implementing phase 3. And at that time, I communicated to the board that that's dependent on system operation and board drawdown. Currently, our module stock remains strong. So I pushed that from fiscal year 29 out to fiscal year 2030. We upgraded our TrueSight front-end fire alarm system this summer, and Central Plant West chiller overhaul, which you approved. That project was completed over the spring, and if you look down through here, why did we have to do it? Because we have implemented inspection programs, preventative and predictive maintenance programs, and we noticed vibrations happening on the chiller. Had we not had those programs in place, we would have been facing about $1 million replacement. We caught it in time to rebuild the chiller. If you look at the replacement budget at the end there, we spent $114,000, but the replacement for that chiller is $1 million. I also attached in the back of that packet some pictures of that chiller disassembled, just one of the projects, to kind of give you an idea of the magnitude of what it takes to do one of these projects. I would direct you to item number 2, the capital improvement schedule. In that regard, further cost-saving measures in addition to the several grants that are listed on here in red. I met with stakeholders from the Ohio Department of Development for a 1-to-1 match on a grant. Since then, Jen has sent over the utility bills, and we're looking at whether or not we're going to qualify for the grant. Ironically, 2 of the highest qualifiers for the grant is building automation and LED, and we've already done that. But we're going through the process. It's a 1-for-1 grant, so the minimum qualifying cost is $250,000. So it would be a $500,000 project if we were to qualify. So we'll keep you posted on that as that develops. Moving on to the capital plan, directly to that. And I want to get to these projects for fiscal year 27. But before I do that, one subject that comes up an awful lot, and I get asked a lot, and probably you all do, is the roofs. And since my last report, I had taken some samples, and we had them sent out to a testing laboratory. The roof membrane, when it was installed, was 45 mils. I'm happy to report it's still at 44 mils, and it's still pliable. There's no extensive fracturing of the membrane or anything like that. So that's a positive. So I've actually pushed those out of the year on the report. So if you looked at your previous report, I pushed it out. Now, they're serviced quarterly. They are inspected biannually. And, we'll continue to assess it. I don't know what an excessive winter will bring, or if we'll have any rapid deterioration, but we'll watch them closely. Another item I've been asked recently on has been the turf, the AstroTurf. So we replaced that in 2018. The prior turf was replaced in 2006. We're averaging about 12 years on our turf. So you'll see the turf listed under fiscal year 2031 or the summer of 2030. Your average life expectancy is 8 to 10 years. We've been getting 12. They're extensively serviced annually, and GMAX testing continues to report and well. I go down to the list in fiscal year 27, and for the board, you'll see that there'll be some recommendations coming in the next several months. I don't know, item number 6, the West Campus fire alarm. So we have obsolescence in the fire alarm system. It's 33 years old, okay? 33 years old. It's held, we've serviced it, but the peripheral devices are becoming obsolete. The controllers are obsolete and the panels are becoming obsolete. So we have some thousands of devices, and this will be for the replacement of the initiating devices, network cards, and the primary panels that service the West Campus. So that's the high school and the PAC. So you'll see that coming across. We've begun the rotation. We're at the point again over 20 years of carpet and some targeted painting in specific areas, which will begin at the elementary school this coming summer. Moving outside to the athletic areas. So in the spring, after the thaw, we noticed that our competition courts at the BAC has started to fracture again. Back in 2018, we had an armor crack repair done to those fractures. They've held up for 7 years. We have the other athletic areas, the middle school tennis courts and the PAC basketball courts that you'll see on this list as well. And we're hoping to make that repair. It's an overlay, it's an acrylic overlay with an armor flex repair. And if we can get another 7 years out of it, I think it'd be the prudent thing to do. And then, we're due for seal coating and crack filling this year. One item on the list also that was on the list for replacement is the scoreboard, which will be 20 years old, and it's just at the end of its life cycle. And that's on the agenda as well. We should be, TJ and I are working together, seeking multiple quotes. We're looking forward to getting those to you as well. TJ, do you have anything you want to?
No, I think it's accurate. The tennis courts, in talking with other schools and other districts on how they service their courts, I would concur with Jim that doing the repairs to them this way is the most prudent way to go. We can, get another 7 to 8 to 9 years out of this repair that we do this summer. And obviously the scoreboard is long overdue as well. But so yeah, we're working together on these projects.
And that price for the scoreboard, that's with the sound system as well, correct?
That is, we do anticipate that, including the sound system, yes.
Okay.
Do we have any questions about the plan, this capital improvement plan?
So when you talk about the roof, the mills of the sheeting.
The membrane, yeah.
The membrane, yes. So every winter we know, like, we have leaks in the roof. Like, how are we addressing that, and is that impacted by that, or is that caused by how is that related?
So Nikki, most of the leaks that you see are not related to the roofs.
Okay.
They just simply aren't. A lot of the leaks we'll see are during excessive wind, when it's excessively cold outside, and snow is driven into the air handlers, and they may melt inside the air handlers. Those ones specifically in the field house, and we just can't stop. It's just excessive weather. Some of them are from internal hydronic lines for the heating and cooling system. What will happen is, especially this time of year, the boilers fire up and then they shut off because outside ambient temperature changes, and we're having some expansion and contraction in the O-ring gaskets and the metallic fittings. Now, I don't know, about 6-7 years ago, we put a lot of money into repairing those. It's during the startup and the shutdown of the boilers where you see those. Now there are some leaks, and and most of those are on the outer fringe where we have seams and we're having issues.
Okay.
Great question. Any other questions? Okay, item number 3 is the partial major improvement procurement history. I would just direct you to the last page again to show some completed items. But this could never be everything, right? Okay, this is what's brought to the board for major projects.
I can't imagine how much more there is, Mr. Smith. It's a lot of information.
Okay, but it's not our routine maintenance. It's not predictive or preventative maintenance, okay? It's not custodial services for cleaning and disinfecting. It's not grounds. This is just the major stuff that's brought here. It's not even the capital repair, emergency repairs that we do under the 423 account that just happen to come about that have to be done, or some of the emergencies that we've had. But I list that for your reference. The next item, item 4, is the site equipment, essential equipment for safety, again, for our site. kind of lead you over to the right-hand corner. It shows the average age of the fleet. And at this point, I'd like to really thank our mechanics for the great job they do, especially Steve Lawson for his communication. And weekly, not weekly, during inclement weather daily, multiple times a day to keep this fleet running during excessive weather. And you'll see that, you know, we don't replace vehicles. We replace vehicles that are lasting 20, 24 years before we replace a vehicle. So that's the tracking projection that feeds into the overall plan. Item 5 is our custodial staffing. If you look at the bottom of that staffing, we compare to national average from American school and universities. Our staff is more productive than the average across the country. And it's a credit to our custodians who do a fantastic job, really take ownership in the work that they do day in and day out. It's also a piece of the procurement of equipment that we supply them with, and the procedures, protocols, and processes and their daily duties that makes them productive. Okay, and so you know, we're more productive than the average. We're also blessed with a larger space, which helps a little bit too. The next sheet is just your this that you've asked for meetings years and years ago. I keep providing it. Just the data sheet for the facility. Some fun facts on there. And then item number 7 is the budgets. If you go to page 3 of the budget, the Jen holds my feet to the fire on. You look back, a modest little increases, but really, if you flip through the last 3 pages, so I broke it down. Why do we have it? You know, what is it? You know, it's required service contracts for the 1 million square feet. It's required inspections. They're required inspections from EPA and Ohio Department of Commerce and others. And I kind of broke that out. Essential services, operating essential supplies, and miscellaneous objects. And then item number 8 is this sheet that you've seen before. And again, I'll emphasize, this is just partial, okay? But it's in collaboration with the curriculum department. It's in collaboration with the athletic department. If you look at the blocks on this, if you look, boy, a lot of this work is stacked during spring break and then full throughout the summer. And then the other ones that we essentially have to do when the students are in the buildings. This sheet is generally outdated. I try to get it out in February to everybody, late February, early March before spring break. And so these are, again, just some of the major projects that happen, and they're not all even capital or capital improvements, but they're essential services, inspections that we have to do. But we have to schedule and weave it around every time. And finally, the current life cycles. I provide this sheet, this last packet here. If you look at the district replacement value, I always put it on the campus first. In the top block there, district, you'll see the total. Let me direct you to the last page, because the estimates are from the state of Ohio opinion of probable cost from the state, okay? And we're under section 8, the northeast region of Ohio. It's a blended average for our different schools. So I use a blended average for the district. It's just a replacement cost value of the facility. It's not the improvements, because you'll see those zeroed out. It's not the utilities. It's not the property or the infrastructure that went into that, just the facility. If you go over to, if you flip to the third page, it's broken down by school, the elementary school. And then you look at when the construction was completed in 1995. And we look down through the, some of the upgrades that we've done, and the year value will change, and that extends the life of the facility out. It's just a sanity check that feeds into the overall plan. Is there any questions in that regard?
You're looking at the document, the building, the systems life expectancy.
Yeah,
right? That
yeah.
packet.
And it's just, to me, it's just a guide that I use for different disciplines within the building, but it's the real life stuff that happens every day through the management system and assessments and inspections and everything that we do is what drives this as a driver. That concludes my update.
Data informed instruction.
Thank you, Ned. So this is helpful, and I think that you can see the amount of information that we get and how detailed it is. I mean, there is, if anyone wants to look at it, you're more than welcome to see it. There's so much information here, and I think it's really helpful to know this, that when projects come up, nothing is coming up out of nowhere. Like, there's a plan, and there's planning in place that Cable, you guys work pretty closely together, and we're grateful for all the effort. I mean, it's a 30-something-year-old building, and it's beautiful, but still requires maintenance, and things are gonna start coming up. But this is a good guide for us to have, and a lot of good information.
Just thank you once again, as usual, because this is incredible work. And you're so detailed, so organized, and I'm sitting here thinking about, how many other facilities, places, whether it's a school district or just any building or business has this type of detail and this type of projection and planning estimated out. You know, maybe we become a learning facility for people that you could teach so that they would have the same skill set somewhere. But I just said, Todd, I'm like, talk about data informed instruction. This is an example, right? You're making your decisions based on all the information and the data that you collected. So
Thank you, Tim.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And the preventative, the fact that we can get years beyond life expectancy out of a lot of things.
And they do a lot of really creative things too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but we got to go on a little bit of a tour and got to see all the things and the sourcing of different components and things that will extend the life expectancy. Whereas if we didn't find, Mr. Smith goes out and finds things wherever he can and holds on to them for just in case we need it, and we end up needing it, but it's something that saves hundreds of thousands of dollars in the immediate. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you at all.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
Thank you.
I'm good.
Take off
I
now.
can go. Thank you.
It's his favorite day of the year. Yes,
Can I make a comment before he walks out?
yes.
Because Tiffany, you said, you wonder how many other schools have a plan like this? And I've been in enough districts to know that none of them do, except maybe one other, that's Kirtland, but he does that too. Yeah, I mean, his organization, what he puts together, how he plans it out is not like you see anywhere else.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
I'm ready.
Is there any public participation? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Grega,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Truster,
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli.
Yes.
Mr. Porcello, superintendent's report?
All right, A, approval of policy, first reading. The board is asked to consider the following revised board policies as a first reading for future action as recommended by the local superintendent. Draft policy is available for review below. B, board policy, second reading. The board is asked to adopt the new revised board policy listed as recommended by the local superintendent. C, personnel, acceptance of retirement. The board is asked to accept the retirement of the individuals listed for the position noted as recommended by the local superintendent. D, personnel, acceptance of retirement, corrective action. The board is asked to approve the corrective action noted, previously approved September 16th, 2025, as recommended by the local superintendent and chief financial officer. E, personnel, approval of leave of absence in accordance with the terms and conditions of the collective bargaining agreement, Ohio Revised Code, and their applicable leave balance. The board is asked to approve leave for the individuals listed below as recommended by the local superintendent and director of student services. F, personnel, approval of appointment, independent study. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the first semester independent study supplemental position and rate of pay indicated for the 25-26 school year as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. G, personnel, approval of appointment, 21st Century CCLC. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the PHS 21st CCLC grant positions and the rate of pay indicated as recommended by the building principal and local superintendent. Funds for these positions will be paid out of federal grant funds awarded to the district as indicated and verified through a timesheet for the dates indicated below. H, personnel, approval of appointment, non-athletic supplemental. The board is asked to approve the individual listed for the 25-26 non-athletic supplemental noted as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. I, personnel, approval of athletic supplementals, coaches and volunteers. The board is asked to approve the employment of the individuals listed for the 25-26 athletic supplemental position and rate of pay indicated, pending successful completion of required employment paperwork, certification, training, and background check as recommended by the local superintendent and athletic director. I want to make a quick note that we are going to strike the Nicholas Mann wrestling volunteer recommendation. We have not received the PAP, which is the pupil activity permit. So once we receive that, we would put him back on the agenda here. J, personnel, approval of appointment, PES volunteers. The board is asked to approve the individuals listed as volunteers at Perry Elementary School as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. K, personnel, approval of appointment, substitutes. The board is asked to approve the individuals noted for 25-26 daily substitute position listed as recommended by the local superintendent. And L, approval of out-of-state travel, sixth grade to Camp Fitch. The board is asked to approve out-of-state travel to North Springfield, Pennsylvania for sixth grade students on May 27th through 29th, 2026, as recommended by the local superintendent and building principal. And this concludes my superintendent report.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
A second.
Any discussion?
Question, the PMS work coaches, PMS volunteers, PHS winter volunteers. Okay, so the one you struck from the, was just nickname,
Yes,
was that from the, so there's PHS winter volunteers,
yes,
and then on the back of that page, there's another one that says start date is 11/14. One says 11, and one says 11.
yeah, so it would be the nickname from PHS Winter Volunteers and PMS Winter Volunteers.
Is there a reason the start dates are a day apart?
I think that's when the actual season starts for high school and then middle school.
Yeah, the 14th is the first official day that they can't run.
The pupil activity permits are annual, right?
They are.
Those are every year, you have to have those done?
They have to complete their coaching certification through the coach's tool chest yearly and then submit their PAP.
But is the certification, the actual permit, isn't that valid for more than 1 year?
It is, it's 3 at a minimum. But yearly they have to do,
They have to do the work, but
The work.
but the certificate is good for 3 years.
correct.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Drago,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Metzger,
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley.
Yes.
Mrs. Cagle, Chief Financial Officer report.
Thank you. A, approval of financial reports. The board is asked to approve the financial report from September 2025 as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. B, approval of the 2026 dental rates. The board is asked to authorize the Chief Financial Officer to renew a one-year contract with Oasis Dental Trust effective January 1st, 2026 to provide dental benefits for employees of Perry Local School District as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer. C, approval of payment in lieu. The board is asked to approve the payment in lieu of transportation for the student listed during the 2025-26 school year as noted below, as recommended by the Chief Financial Officer and the Transportation Director. This resolution is to declare transportation impractical for certain identified students, is presented pursuant to the requirements of Ohio Revised Code Section 3327 and the procedure set forth by the Ohio Department of Education. The resolution follows careful evaluation of all other available options prior to the consideration of impracticality. And that concludes my Chief Financial Officer's report.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Any discussion? Just to be clear, the transportation, we are required by law to provide transportation to children who live in our district but attend schools outside of our district. So that is where that in lieu of comes in, because it'd be more expensive for us to transport, correct?
Right, there's parameters, like 30 minutes, and a certain number of miles, so.
I think a lot of people don't know that like we have to provide the transportation. I think
Yes.
I got asked that a couple of times, so. Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Leidig,
Yes.
Mrs. Tresker,
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gray.
Yes.
Unfinished business. Is there anything? Any new business? We do need to move our board meeting from the 18th because we will be at OSBA and it's discouraged to have board meetings out of the district. So if it's possible, is anyone available, can we do November, the week before? The week after gets into Thanksgiving, so I think if we could do the November 11th date, if that works for anyone, everyone. Does that work?
Yeah, that should work.
Okay, so let's put that tentatively, and if someone finds something in the near future, we can adjust if need be, but that will be where we plan to have it then. Is there anyone else have any new business? Correspondence and announcements? Early dismissal for the elementary school will be at 11:30 a.m. and middle school at 11 a.m. on Monday, November 6, 2025 for parent-teacher conferences. The next regular Board of Education meeting was scheduled for Tuesday, November 18th, but tentatively we're looking at November 11th. We will also have a board training November 4th where we don't anticipate conducting any business. It would just be a board training, but I believe you still have to notice that. That's November 4th at, I don't know if it's at the time, 6 o'clock, start work by. That'll be noticed, but we don't anticipate conducting any business at that meeting. It's strictly for training. And then, is there any other public participation? Is there a motion to adjourn? Second. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Tresker,
Yes.
Mrs. Seoli,
Yes.
Mrs. Foley,
Yes.
Mrs. Grega,
Yes.
Mr. Leidig.
Yes.
Thank you.